nobody really know what China is from France.
There are a lot of cliché.
Yeah, but when we hear, everything is different.
It's really interesting to come and to come back.
We both traveled together in 2010. So it was our first travel with our parents. They really want to discover China, so we go together and we are arriving in Beijing and travel a lot for a month. Discover a lot of city in China, and then we both fall in love of China, so we continue to come very frequently.
I studied the Chinese language since 2011. After I come back in China in 2015 to studying Chinese. And now I'm here also for studying Chinese because I love this language.
In Chinese culture, there is a lot of conviviality. When you speak a little bit Chinese, very easy to make friends because people are very open-minded.
When you're a foreigner and you try to communicate with them.
Be part of your world. They invite you, they want to share a lot with you, and it's very nice for foreigners when you arrive in China, you're lost a little bit and people are so kind with you, so I really like this part of Chinese culture.
The Chinese dishes, because there are a lot of difference between regions and I like to try a lot of different things that I cannot find in France. So it's quite interesting, yes. But the most memorable things I think we did together was to climb on the
Great Wall?
Great Wall, yes.
Well, most of the time when I come to China it's for going to Beijing. I can't say I know China because China is so huge, but I know few cities and one of the most is Beijing because I spend a lot of time there and it's very close to the Great Wall, so we go together to the Great Wall and the landscape is very beautiful and I think it's a very memorable. I work for Ishuba. Ishuba is an artist residency, so we invited young French artists in Beijing and we invite young Chinese artists in Paris. And so they live, they create, they get inspired by the culture, French culture or Chinese culture, and it's always very, very beautiful project with maybe Chinese brand, French brand, artists that create product, for example, but also exhibition here in China for French artists and in Paris for Chinese artists. And I really like because art is a way of language. French artists are really, really impressed by China and there is a lot of influence here in their painting. It's a little bit a transformation for them when they discover China because most of them never went to China before, so it's a really great discover and for a long time they keep in mind what they discover in China and it's still very present in their painting or sculpture for a long time. So yeah, and this time I was in Suzhou because there is a huge forum, cultural forum between China and France, and this year it was in Suzhou and a lot of projects are created during this forum and it's also an open place to speak, to share their point of view and our culture, so it's very powerful. I like the painting and the landscape because I think in China it's very different from Western part because the landscape is very present in the painting and humans are very small. In Western it's the opposite. There is a huge place for human and a little part for landscape. So I like the Chinese painting and Chinese artists because they keep a real place for nature in their work. Yeah.
I think it's because we traveled in China and I like it, and my school asked me if I want to learn Chinese and I say why not, in fact. So I learned it during 7 years and I come back with a school during 1 month in Shanghai in the University of Science and Technology, and after I wanted to know more about Chinese culture, that's why I didn't give up the Chinese language and culture in my life, and that's why I'm here today because I have the time to develop my Chinese language, so that's why I'm here. The most difficult part is the oral because I have a lot of tone. We're not used to speak with this kind of, like, not music, but sometimes it feels like it's a song. So it's the difficult part, and I think that the written part is the easier because it's like drawing, so I feel relaxed when I write Chinese, yes. Yes, really, really, really. Because it was like 6 years that I didn't talk in Chinese and to remember what I learned. But I think that now I'm like able to survive in town. Like maybe if I'm alone, I can walk and ask somebody if I want to some help. And it's easier for me to be here and to speak language and to know where I go and what kind of dish I can eat and well, like to be convenient. Yes. But during this interview, sometimes my words came not in English but in Chinese, and I needed to translate.
Well, I
Quite
think
difficult.
it's also because you really like the teacher here.
Yeah. I like really my teacher were really kind and like they take the time to explain something, and sometimes I want to focus on words that it's not in HSK, but they take some time to teach me that. I think I would recommend to travel in China definitely because it's a beautiful country. You have a lot of discover because the country changed really fast. I didn't recognize the Chinese life from when I came in 2015. It changed a lot. That, for example, you don't use cash anymore. It changed really, really fast. It's really interesting to come and to come back, like several times.
I always come for work, but it's a real pleasure to work with my Chinese colleague. And also, every time I discover new place, new things, and I always told my friend when I'm back, I say, next time you should come with me because nobody really know what China is from France. Just we know China from the news, the newspaper, or the TV.
There are a lot of cliché.
Yeah, but when we're here, everything is different and everything is enjoyable. So, yeah.